So Carolyn, your research is going to be into Mediterranean diet and cardiovascular disease. So perhaps we should start out with a bit of an explanation about what do we mean by cardiovascular disease.
Yeah, well, that's a really good question. So cardiovascular disease is actually sort of a grouping of several different diseases like coronary heart disease, hypertension fits in there, stroke, sort of any disease that deals with the blood vessels. And basically what cardiovascular disease is caused by is atherosclerosis.
That's a big word.
It's a really big word.
So can you describe to us what that looks like what happens to your blood vessels?
Yeah, so atherosclerosis is basically a furring up of the arteries. It's where they sort of get clogged up. And what they used to think that was the cause of this atherosclerosis was just solely a buildup of too much LDL cholesterol, which is sometimes known as the lousy cholesterol, the L for lousy. And new research has discovered that it's actually triggered by inflammation.
Okay, all right, so what's inflammation?
Okay, so just to recap, cardiovascular disease is a group of diseases that affect the blood vessel and includes things like heart disease and stroke and hypertension and peripheral artery disease. And underlying all these conditions is atherosclerosis. And atherosclerosis, that word is so hard to say, is a buildup of fatty plaque in the blood vessels, and it's a hardening of the arteries. And what triggers this is inflammation. So when those blood vessels, when the cells of those blood vessels get injured, and this happens when you might have high blood sugar, or you have high blood pressure, or you have too much of your LDL or lousy cholesterol circulating in your bloodstream, those cells can get damaged. And when they get damaged, the body releases a chemical called platelet activating factor. Platelet activating factor is the most potent inflammatory mediator in the body. It triggers this huge cascade of inflammation that causes blood vessels to open up and allow your LDL cholesterol to get into the inside of the wall of the blood vessel. And it also triggers special cells called monocytes. These are white blood cells. They come and try to fix or repair the whole area that's been damaged. And what happens is those LDLs, they get trapped inside the blood vessel wall, they get oxidized, and then those monocytes go into the blood vessel wall and they try to clean the mess up, and they phagocyze, they eat the LDL cholesterol, and they build up into a big fatty cell called a foam cell, and that turns into a fatty streak leading to this big plaque that just bulges into your blood vessel, blocking the blood supply from traveling through the vessel. What happens then is plaques can break off and travel to another part of your blood vessel and can cause a heart attack.